What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Malnoxx, and today we have another Honkai Star Rail video for you. We're going to be looking at how to build Honkai Star Rail's newest character. What the? Oh, hold on, what's going on? What the heck? What the heck?
Hey, you seem pretty cool.
Looks like Silverwolf is going to be taking the reins on this one. Silverwolf is our most recent 5-star addition to Honkai Star Rail, and she is an absolute joy to play. She is an insanely strong debuffer who can also deal some great damage. And since buffers and debuffers are so important in your Honkai Star Rail team, she'll definitely have a place on almost any team that you field. However, it's important to keep in mind that debuffs have a hit chance. So there's some times where the debuff won't hit the opponent. And for that reason, the build for Silverwolf is going to focus around a lot of effect hit rate. But we'll get more into that later. Before we talk about how to build her, let's talk about what she can do. Now, like we said before, Silverwolf is a debuffer. She follows the path of nihility, and she applies those debuffs through her skill, her ultimate, and her talent. Her skill, titled Allow Changes, gives you a base chance to add one weakness of an on-field ally's type to the target enemy. Meaning that if you have a quantum and a lightning enemy on your team and the opponent doesn't have quantum or lightning weakness, when you use her skill, she'll apply either quantum or lightning to the enemy. If the enemy is weak to all of the damage types that you currently have on your team except for one, it will add that one weakness to the enemy. This ensures that you always have 100% break coverage on the enemies you're fighting. Now, in addition to this debuff, it also reduces the enemy's damage resistance to that weakness type by 20% for 2 turns. There's also a 100% chance to reduce all types of resistance of the enemy further by 8% for 2 turns, in addition to it dealing damage to the enemy. Her ultimate, titled User Ban, gives you a base chance to decrease the enemy's defense for 3 turns. This is in addition to dealing a lot of damage to them. So that's already 4 debuffs she can apply from her ultimate and her skill. Add to this her talent, Awaiting System Response, which has a chance to apply a bug every single time she attacks that either reduces their attack, their defense, or their speed, and you can have up to 7 debuffs on an enemy with Silverwolf alone. Now, in addition to being a really strong character, she also just looks super cool. I love the gamer aesthetic that she has. All the little details they have on her character design that highlight that gamer aesthetic are super cool. Everything from the buttons and the patches she has on her jacket, to the controller strap on her leg, the power buttons that are incorporated into her design, and even her phone case being a Game Boy. So we know this gamer girl can be an amazing addition to any team you have, buffing everyone around her's damage. But let's talk about how to get the most out of her. Starting with light cones, of course we have her signature 5-star light cone, Incessant Rain. It increases your effect hit rate, and when you deal damage to an enemy that has 3 or more debuffs, it increases your crit rate by 12%. After you use your attack, skill, or ultimate, there's a 100% chance to implant Aether Code on a random hit target that does not have it yet. Targets with Aether Code receive an additional 12% damage for 1 turn. This light cone is nutty, incorporating the effect hit rate that Silverwolf needs so much with crit rate, which is always a good thing, and a 12% across the board damage buff for the next turn. However, if you don't want to pull for her 5-star light cone, the free-to-play light cone that's currently in the Silverwolf event is absolutely fantastic. Not only does it give us that effect hit rate we need, but it also restores energy when we attack an opponent that has their defense reduced, which is one of the bugs that Silverwolf puts on them, both through her talent and through her ultimate. Add to that the fact that we can get this light cone to Super Imposition 5 right now through the event, and it's really a no-brainer. If you don't have that light cone, or you don't have it leveled up yet and you need to farm materials, you can throw Void on her, which is a 3-star light cone, but at the start of the battle, it gives you an effect hit rate increase of 20% at Super Imposition 1 and up to 40% at Super Imposition 5 for the next 3 turns. So this is still a super solid option. Eyes of the Prey is another option for you since it does increase your effect hit rate. For our trace priority on Silverwolf, we're going to want to go ultimate is equal to skill, followed by talent, and then leading up the rear is her auto attack. She can still deal some decent damage, so don't totally neglect the auto attack, but definitely focus on leveling up the skill and ultimate and then the talent first. For Relics, we're going to go either 4-piece Wild Wheat, 4-piece Genius of Brilliant Stars, or 2-piece Genius and 2-piece Wild Wheat. For her planar ornaments, we're going to want to go with Pan-Galactic Commercial Enterprise or Fleet of the Ageless if you want her to be more of a team buffer and you don't care as much about her damage. Stats for body is going to be effect hit rate or attack percent. For her boots, it's speed or attack percent. Planar sphere is quantum damage, and her link rope is either energy regen rate or attack percent. For substats, we're looking for effect hit rate, speed, attack percent, and break effect. Now let's talk about effect hit rate. Silverwolf's effect hit rate is going to determine whether or not a debuff is applied to an enemy or if they resist it. Enemies all have a certain effect resistance which helps them resist the effects, and your effect hit rate can help to negate that resistance. If you really like diving into the numbers, here's a couple of charts that show her talent effect hit rate versus the enemy's effect weakness, her skill effect hit rate versus the enemy's effect resistance, and her ultimate effect hit rate versus the enemy's effect resistance. Let's take her ultimate for example. It has a 100% base chance to hit, and if she has a 100% effect hit rate, while the enemy has 50% resistance, she still has a 100% chance to apply the debuff. If her effect hit rate is 90% and the enemy's effect resistance is 50%, then she has a 95% chance to hit and a 5% chance to miss the debuff. All of this basically means you need to stack effect hit rate on Silverwolf for her to be effective and to guarantee all of those debuffs hit. A good baseline to shoot for her effect hit rate is 110%. If you can get it to 130% though, that is even better. Once you hit that number, you can stop focusing as much on effect hit rate in both your light cones and in your relics, and you can start putting it into some more damaging stats. Let's talk about Eidolons. Basically, every single one of Silverwolf's Eidolons are going to be a nice damage increase for you. E1 regenerates 7 energy for every debuff that their target currently has when you use your ultimate on them, and the effect can be triggered up to 5 times in each use of your ultimate, meaning you can benefit from up to 5 debuffs on the enemy. This means that you'll be able to use your ultimate every 2 turns instead of every 3 turns, which leads to a nice damage boost. Her E2 gives all enemies a flat effect resistance reduction of 20% when you enter the battle. Because of this, she's not going to need as much effect hit rate to be effective in those fights, so you can focus a little bit more on those damaging stats at this point if you have her at E2 or higher. Her E4 causes her ultimate to deal an additional 20% of her attack as quantum damage for every debuff on the enemy target. This can again trigger up to 5 times for each ultimate, which means you're dealing damage that's equal to 100% of Silverwolf's attack as quantum damage every time you use your ultimate. Her E6 just makes her potentially one of the best damage units in the game. For every debuff the target enemy has, the damage dealt by Silverwolf is increased by 20% up to a limit of 100%. Meaning if they have 5 debuffs on them, they are taking 100% more damage from Silverwolf, effectively doubling your damage. The team I am really liking for Silverwolf right now is Bailu, Jingyuan, Silverwolf, and Sela. However, I know that that is an all 5-star team, so if you don't have access to that, any mono team plus Silverwolf seems to be working really well. So basically running 3 characters of any damage type and then adding Silverwolf on there. Doing this is going to help you shred through shields, as she will be putting that damage weakness on the enemies, either quantum for herself or the other damage type that's on your team, and there's only one other damage type, so it's either going to be quantum or it's going to be the other one. Eventually, when we get some more quantum characters, running her in a mono quantum team seems to be a really fun idea. So the TLDR of all of this is run the event light cone on her. There's no reason not to. You can get it to S5 for free right now. Go throw the quantum set on her, effect hit rate on the chest, attacker speed on the boots, give her the Pan-Galactic Commercial Enterprise 2-piece, quantum damage on the planar ornament, and energy regen rate on the link rope. Substats are effect hit rate, speed, attack percent, and break effect. And level her up skill ultimate, followed by talent and auto attack. Leave me a comment down below and let me know how you're building Silverwolf. So I want to know how those polls went. Did you get it early? Did you have to wait? We're back. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe, like the video, and ring the bell so you're notified of when we upload future content. It really helps out more than you know, and I appreciate each and every one of you. If you want to talk more about Silverwolf or just come vibe with us while we play Star Rail, come over to Twitch. Link is down in the description below. We always have a good time. Also, this is my first attempt at a build video like this. If you guys enjoyed it, let me know down in the comments and let me know who you want to see me do a build video for next. Until next time, you guys stay legendary and remember the sun will rise and we will try again. May this journey lead us starward. Peace out.